archipelago, but now it's Wakiki.
Hey, do you know why they gave me that?
Yes. With the archipelago, I was teaching collective nouns. And the collective noun for islands is archipelago.
Yeah.
So as soon as I mentioned, they all went by jubilating and then decided to use that as my name. But for the Wakiki, I had to make some photocopies. So I called one student in class to go and do that photocopies for us to use in class. And the center I thought was Wakiki, not knowing Mayaki. So I mentioned, go to Wakiki to do these photocopies for me. And so they ended up calling me Wakiki. So whenever they mention it, I dance to it.
Oh, you dance to it?
I dance to it.
You know, but the archipelago that she talked about, Mama V, do you know that there's somebody in this country who has mispronounced that as archipelago? Oh, yeah. So that song that you hear, archipelago, I mean, that's the wrong pronunciation. Yes.
Okay.
So that's it, actually. Okay. And how about you, Esther?
Well, at first it was Madam Slimton's.
You teach at which level?
JHS.
JHS.
Yes.
And the students call you Madam Slimpton.
I tell you.
Okay. They call you Madam.
Did you know that, or you discovered it later? Did you know how they were called?
I never knew. Normally, when you come to school, Madam Slimton's never knows. So when I said, hey, so you call me Madam Slimton? He said, yes, Madam. It has been there for more than 3 years.
So they came to, I mean, when they also got to JHS, they heard people calling you Madam Slimpton.
Yes.
But they are not wrong anyway. I'm not sure they are wrong, are they?
No, not at
They are
all.
not. Anyway, tell us. I mean, we're celebrating teachers. It's a day for you. I know there are awards ceremonies at Sunyani. Ministry, GS are all there. But tell us, I mean, your path, your career path, how you got into teaching. Let me start with you, Esther. How did you get into teaching?
Well, I will say after SHS, good morning to our listeners. And then I will say that right after SHS, I had wanted to go into university, but my mother said no, because of this financial constraint and other stuffs. I would just go into a profession that right after you are done, you can get something to fall on. So I quite remember my uncle called me, and then my mother even cried that day because they said I should go to training college. I really rejected, but later I really accepted that, and then that was way back 2006. I decided to go to training college. That is Ebri PWC. So I just entered this training college, and then here am I today as a teacher.
More like you were coerced or forced into teaching?
Yes, but along the line, I saw that it's a call.
You saw it as a call eventually.
Yes.
How did that call come to you? How did that realization come to you?
We are all teachers. Everybody is a teacher on this earth. But the raw teaching profession itself is a call. If you don't have the passion for it, you can never become a teacher. I tell you, my brother. Most people were teachers, but along the line, they decided to move and join other sector, where somebody will say that place is something like a big meat. Let me put it that way. That they are enjoying over there, leaving us the bones and then the skeleton or the skeletal aspects.
Okay, great. So eventually you realized you had a call to teach.
Yes.
All right, I'll get back to you. How about you, Sabina? How did you get into teaching?
Yeah, just like Esther mentioned, my daddy advised that I go to training college. The reason was that financially we were not so, my daddy was not so rich a person. He is a Reverend Minister, retired now. And so decided I go to training college first, of which whilst you are there, you still get some allowance. And then he told me when I go, when I'm done teaching, I'm posted, I can then enroll to do degree courses using my own salary. So he advised that I do that as a start.
Did you have any challenges at the time when he advised you to do that?
Actually, no. My daddy is a Reverend Minister, and whenever we go for devotion, sometimes he bring in some of these, the need for us to teach. And he was also a teacher. And I know how well he went about his duty. And so I decided to, do what he has asked me to do.
Did you also get the call later, or you still don't realize it's a call?
Well, it is a call to some extent. The only thing I would say is that I started well. I was so happy a teacher teaching. And my teachers, my students really enjoy my teaching. But for now, in fact, I'm of two minds.
What are those two minds?
That is to move on or to quit.
Why those two minds?
Because of the challenges we are going through now.
I'll come to the challenges shortly, but is that why you say to an extent you realize that it's a calling?
Not really, because I really have the passion for teaching. When I teach and students pass, I become so happy.
What do you teach them?
I teach English.
English. At JHS level?
JHS, yeah.
Which school are you?
I'm at Asofa.
Okay. But somebody would say, when you say, it's a passion. Passion is something that brings you joy. It's a thing that you would do. So I wake up in the morning, and if I should use myself, even when I am sick and I can walk, I want to be here. Even if I'm to have a day off and I'm needed here, I would drive here because it's a passion I have. I love it when I'm on air and, serving breakfast to our listeners. Isn't it the same with teaching for you? Sabina, isn't it the same with teaching for you?
For now, as I mentioned, the trend has changed.
I'll get back to you too shortly, but let me get onto the phone lines because the former NAGRAT president, Kwame Alovi, is on. We know Kwame. Kwame, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for having me.
I believe you're doing very well. Listening to the ladies talk about their call into teaching, how does that make you feel, having been teaching for a very long time, having led NAGRAT? How does that make you feel?
It's very, very, very sad. Very sad, very sad. Actually, those were some of the things that NAGRAT was fighting for those days. And till now, nothing seems to have changed. But you need an accommodating heart, a heart that gives love to your students, for you to be in teaching. As you could recall, the president himself said that he can't be in teaching and hope to be rich. So it appears everybody knows, even the authorities regard teaching as something that will not give you any benefit. And they are not prepared to improve upon the conditions of service for us to be in teaching. In fact, it appears most people having gone around, have not got anything to do, come into teaching as a last resort. So it's very unfortunate for the president himself to have confirmed the belief that teaching is not anything that you should enter if you want to be rich. If I all go to the same market to buy the same items.
Well, is that not symptomatic of public salary structure, that many people at that level do not earn much? And the reality that you'd make reference to. But I'll come back to you, Kwame, shortly. Let me get to you, Esther. And yes, you both started by saying, well, it was good until what? What is the problem?
We have so many problems because, as my sister said earlier on, now the terrain of teaching has really changed. Way back when we used to be in school, there was nothing like strike action. It was there, but not frequently or something. But now we see that most within a blink of an eye, teachers are really going on strike. We are putting our tools down. A whole lot of issues. So even talking about one, just like the way Mr. Alovi said,
He used to lead strike actions.
Yes.
Yes.
Talking about salary structure, it's very bad. Even though somebody will say that you are on single spine, but it's nothing to talk about, my brother.
Hasn't it always been like that?
No.
Teachers' salaries have always been low.
Yes, Esther. It says,
Sure, with the aspect of salary, I would say that the ex-president could force us something. They're talking about a single spine salary structure. And then I think former president, the late president, Mills also implemented it, and then it went on. Even apart from that aspect, always every year there is an increment of more than 10%. That's maybe 11 or 12. But this time around, I think it was low as 4%. What can you use 4% for?
isn't it because of COVID-19?
No.
No.
If it's COVID,
Government had made a point that, look, COVID has hit us very hard. And the evidence was there for all of us to see. It affected revenue generation and it increased expenditure. So if it affected our revenues, and so initially we had targeted some, over 70, some 70 billion. We had to reduce our revenue projections to about 54 billion Ghana cedis. Our expenditures increased to over 100 billion just because of COVID. Isn't it natural that it would affect us the following year, and thus we all would have to tighten our belts?
I don't think so, my brother. In the sense that why should this one alone target some group of people talking
All
about
public sector workers, 4%.
No, 4%. It's not to talk about because, excuse my language, the politicians are they also receiving that. Then they should cancel the ex gratia because we are in crisis.
The president is not taking salary increase. He hasn't. The president has refunded, he's told you that I do not want salary increase. He's refunded it to the states as a way of showing that all of us are in difficult times. Is that not enough?
To me, it's nothing better. To be sincere, it's nothing better. At least something good can be done about it, about the salary. Because we all go to the same market.
So that's your problem, the
Yes,
salary.
the salary is too bad. Very, very, especially when your family is very large. And then maybe they are also depending on you. It becomes, become a whole lot of issue or problem to the family as well.
Yeah. So Sabina, is that the reason you're thinking, should I get out of teaching? Should I look for something else?
Well, mine had to do with the promotion. One thing that puts joy in teachers is their promotion. When you are promoted, you get upgraded, and at least something small is added to your salary, and that puts some smile in your face. However, this time around, I think most of you have heard about this promotion buhaha that went on. Teachers went to write exams. We have waited for 4 years. Even this one, it was 5 years because of the COVID. And we went to write exams for promotion, of which a day was slated for us to receive the responses. We did. And some received successful congratulations, you're successful. And most of us, we were told, some also received unsuccessful. And then the rest of us were told to submit our documents to the headquarters for further verification. Now, the idea was that there were some few issues when they were downloading, and so we needed to bring our documents to the headquarters. My brother, that very day, those who went, the only thing they took from them was their last promotion letter and the pay slip. In any case, there is nothing on this that you can use to promote a teacher. There's no mark awarded to this. Everything is based on the exams that we write. And the question is, can you ever ask a failed candidate to present documents for further verification? Why would you ask a failed candidate? Now, we received these messages and we were to submit within a month. That very day, some even took theirs. The next day, we had another message telling us to go back and check from the portal on Saturday. It was a Thursday we received those messages for verification of this. On the following day, which was a Friday, we were to go back and recheck on Saturday at exactly 1 p.m. Now, to our surprise, on that fateful Saturday, we went back to check on the portal and everything has changed. Now, most of us who were asked to bring our documents for verification have now been told unsuccessful. And in fact, it is so disheartening. My brother, as I'm speaking to you, some teachers have died out of this. Some have had BP out of this. People are going through psychological trauma, emotional pains, sleepless nights, all because of this. You know, some of us were given the opportunity because we just couldn't understand. We sent petition to GES, we sent it to the minister, we sent to Parliament, my dear. And we knew there is no way. Let's just take your child in school. If your child comes home to tell you that, Daddy, Madam says I'm going to KG2, and so I should bring my birth set the following day. Then the child takes the birth set only for the teacher to tell her that you didn't pass. You are staying back. How would you have taken it, my dear?
So how has that issue been resolved?
Now they have asked us to go and rewrite. And that is not a solution to it, my dear. That is not a
Do
solution.
you have evidence of when they said you passed the exam, when they sent the successful notification?
You know, it didn't come, I have to be honest, it didn't come as successful. It came, some had congratulation messages that they are successful, some received unsuccessful messages, and some of us also received bring your documents for verification at the headquarters. So I fall within that.
So you were asked to follow up with your documentation?
Yes.
Only for them to...
Close the portal, reopen, and then tell us we are unsuccessful.
Well, there's a very good friend of mine who falls into that category, who's also
Okay.
pretty upset. I understand right now you're going through re-registration to write that exam again.
Yeah.
This exam means a lot to you.
Of course.
How often do you write it?
Every 4 years we go on promotion. But I think this year it was even 5 years.
Yes.
And then if you don't pass the exam, this means that you're supposed to be on the same rank to God knows since when.
Yeah, for about 4 years more.
But you've been asked to write immediately?
No.
We have just registered, and we'll be writing, I think, next year. But the issue is some are going on retirement this year. What happens to those people?
I'll get back to you, but let me just say that yesterday we reached out to the Ghana Education Service to be part of this conversation. Now, they told us that, well, because they're going to be at the Teachers Awards in Sunyani, which is around the same time, they'd be unable to join the conversation. This morning also we've spoken to representatives of the Ghana the Education Ministry, and they've also told us that, well, because the event is around the same time, they are unable to join. So just by way of clarification, that we reached out to the Ministry of Education, we reached out to the Ghana Education Service. I spoke to the Deputy Director General, Dr. Tando, to be part of this conversation. But that's the explanation that he gave me. Let me bring in Kwame Alovi briefly on issues with conditions of service. Because, Kwame, hello, Mr. Alovi. Okay, do we still have Mr. Alovi on the line? Okay, we'll try and raise Mr. Alovi again. Yes, Mr. Yes, you're making.
Yeah, I wanted to, we were given, some of us were given the opportunity to see our scripts. You know, the whole exam was over 75, and they brought in 5 of us, our scripts, because we just couldn't.
What was pass mark is what?
We don't even know the person.
You know, we write the exam without knowing the pass mark. We write the exam with no syllable attached to it. And so when we were given that opportunity, it happened that some had 40 out of 75. Some had 42 out of 45. Now the question is, how can someone write an exam if it was a score of 100? That would be 53.3. If someone should write an exam over 75 and get 40, 42, how do you term that person as unsuccessful?
What did they tell you when you asked these questions?
We're not even given the chance to ask those questions. We just saw the
I think
script.
Sabina said you were called.
We were, we did a lot of follow-up of our issue. And the minister was really into the issue, deputy minister, in fact. So at a point in time, he made them bring the script for us to see.
So you saw your script?
I saw my script. I
Okay.
wouldn't lie. I saw my script. And I saw the mark I had. But, there are issues we cannot really talk about here.
So do you agree you failed?
I don't agree I failed because I cannot get more than half a mark of 75 and be told I have failed. And so we are pleading with the government that they should reconsider their decision. At least, if you could make it from half the mark of 75 upwards is successful, that would be okay. But for someone to get more than half of a mark and then declared unsuccessful, teachers do not really get anything. We don't do classes. We don't get any allowance from any other place. Our joy is the rank, of which, I am going to AD1, I'm in AD2. And it will surprise you to know that the difference of the net of what I will receive is about 50 Ghana or so. And this 50 Ghana, I am even saying I'll be happy with it. Just put me there and I'll be happy. Teachers have taught so much. We do a lot. Not only in the classroom. We impact a lot of moral lessons to our pupils. And so government must put a smile. Today is Teachers' Day. If it is really worth celebrating, then it is worth giving our rank to us, our promotion. This will put smile in a lot of faces.
Okay. We'll get back to you. We'll also talk about issues to do with the licensure exams and all of that. But Kwame Alovi is back. And Kwame, when it comes to the salary levels of teachers, there's been something that has been with us. You've been fighting this, I remember, around 2004-05 when you were backing on leading NAGRA to go on strikes. There's always been the issue. Is it something new?
If you listen to my sister speaking, realize that your remuneration depends on the level you are, on the scale of the rank on which you are. So the rank determines the amount of money that is given to you. And it's very sad when the issue you were talking about, when they told them they failed, I heard the GS or the minister directing that they should put sample questions of the exam they write on the platform for them to study. And I asked myself, what sample questions? Why do you go to an examination without telling the examinee the course structure that you are going to examine them on? So they should know which areas are going to be examined, not sample questions. Because you don't study sample questions. There are areas that they are examined. And if you recount, we were first going through promotion interviews. And this government says that it is too cumbersome and so forth. Therefore, they want to simplify the issue by bringing in examination. So you must be clear on whatever you are examining them on. You must also know what they are being examined on. And as you said, the pass mark. How do you obtain over 50% of exam you are writing, then you are told you are failed? What is the pass mark? They should know. And why that pass mark is fixed above 50%. So that's it. When you look at the salary increment that came, the 4%, if you calculate, most teachers will have 35 CDs up to 80 CDs increment. The whole 35 CDs to about 80 CDs increment on salary. How far does it take you? But that is saying we accept it that way because we are working for the love of the country, the love of our children. But it's about time that they address the salary issue. Apart from that, other issues like promotion, other issues like even at the school level, how do the head teachers appreciate the teachers over there? If they don't have even the means, money being sent to them to run the schools are not going. So a teacher will ask something to be done, and they say there's no money. So you get frustrated. So it's not only the salary that gives us the job satisfaction, but how fast, how quickly our grievances are addressed for us to have the confidence, to have the courage, to have the the morale to teach. But almost everything that GS does, in fact.
Oh, unfortunately, we've lost Kwame Alovi. We'll try and raise Kwame Alovi again. Well, you are nodding, Esther, in agreement.
Yes.
That the morale is low?
I tell you, because looking at the promotion exams itself, there is nothing like a scope or a scheme of work given so that you go and read or learn on that and then go and write the exams. That is one aspect. And then we don't, as it stands now, we don't even know the pass mark. Initially, it was an interview before they changed everything into examination. But let me ask, Ms. Amma, what do? I'm a teacher. I do impart knowledge. I am not saying that you shouldn't conduct any exams. You can do that. But what do? I teach. So if you want to assess me, why don't you come to the classroom? Because that is where I work. When you come to the classroom, maybe you allow me to teach. Maybe for all you may know, the method that I was using to teach was very bad. There was no TLMs to be used for children to see. And then maybe the method that I was using for the teaching, it's a no-go area. So with that one, and then let me add this. Maybe my lesson note is very scanty. You can add those things to it. Oh, maybe Madam Esther, the method that you used was very bad because I'm imparting knowledge. And I wasn't even able to fulfill my promise. So through that one, you rather can really assist me.
Are you saying you don't want the promotion exam?
We want it, but there are so many ways that even the appraiser form alone can even pass teachers. Because once a while, our masters and then the district directors, they come around and then come and supervise.
But some would say some people passed. Is that not an indication that it's something that you can pass?
Well, to me, the way they go about the thing, I don't think it's something fair.
In terms of the exams?
Yes, the promotion
that some
exam.
passed.
Yes.
Yeah, some did pass. In every exams, some will definitely pass and some will fail. I agree on that. But this time around, ours is so strange a thing. In that some passed, given congratulation messages, some failed and were also told. But those of us who were given, we're told to bring our documents for verification. It is something else.
Just one more thing before we go to Ms. Alovi. How is all of the challenges, what you feel, because you're pretty emotional about what's
Very.
going on. How is it impacting on the children that you're teaching?
In fact, I have sat and told myself that most of our politicians do not have their walls in their public schools. So if I decide to be so emotional to do otherwise, I would rather be, causing harm to an innocent soul. So I try my best to teach them as I used to do. But a teacher doesn't only teach. There are other moral lessons we do. So I would teach all right, but other things that I used to do, I have to reduce them. And that is what I have to.
What are those things you used to do that you no longer do?
Apart from this, we used to, teachers impact a lot of moral lessons into students by calling them, teaching them what to do, even on, minor issues.
Is that to say you're no longer correcting them?
I am correcting, but things like using my own money for some students, buying things, using my personal money to buy certain things. For some, that one I have reduced. That.
Because there is nothing to talk about.
I have
Look
to
at
be
the salary.
honest. I have to be honest.
Yes, look
Let
at
me
the
get,
salary.
Let me get Kwame Alovi back on this issue. Now, so yeah, Mr. Alovi, you're making a point earlier, but the question really is, how different can we do this promotion process? How different can we execute it?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, that the teachers must know the course outline, the areas that are examinable, and they will prepare on that. They should know what the pass mark is. It appears as if GS has a quota that we are going to pass only this number of people because maybe the money that GS has or the ministry has is this amount. Therefore, they will spread this over, say, if it's 4,000 teachers. So that it does not matter how many people pass. They must know the pass mark. We shouldn't be you shouldn't base the pass on availability of funds to pay the teachers. It's very frustrating. So publish the course outline. Let us know the pass mark, and everybody that crosses that pass mark should get the promotion. So if the criteria are set out clearly, and you understand before entering the exam room, they know whatever they are doing. And must also be very timely. When they pass, they must be put on their skills very fast, not quickly. Don't wait until 6 months, then you pay them some 3 months arrears, leave the rest. That's very, very frustrating. And some of them to know the promotion is given as notional and effective. They can promote you, say, up to, say, 2020, national effect of 2020, October. My effective date is 2021, October. That means that you have lost about 1 whole year arrears. What should that be? So they must program the promotion examinations to ensure that when you are due for promotion, you go for the examination and they put you on the field. You shouldn't cross over for you to lose about 1 full year arrears because your promotion was notional to a previous year, but effective from future year. That's the issue.
Well, we'll continue with this conversation. We're looking at, the state of the Ghanaian teacher. And this morning we're joined by Sabina, and Esther Kwame is also on the phone. When we return after these messages, we'll be talking about the curriculum. We'll be talking about textbooks, teaching and learning materials. And we'll also look at how COVID has impacted them and whether they feel that they are part of the recovery process. This is the Super Morning Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Say donut, 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 donut. Hey, donut, 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 donut. Donut, donut. Young cotton, donut, donut, donut. Malaria syrup, donut. Everybody follow nut, sa malaria. A 3D donut now, Ogonto. Malaria chill. Oh, popo. What do you mean? I want the donut. No. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat ide scatter malaria.
A quality product from Blaze GVS Pharma. Yenshishemu hu se malaria wa umojam ansana wanum Lonat. Na nam yensearch na malaria no daso wo hwa ko hu dokota.
This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, so it's actually raining and we can't hear any sound. As for this, your house, when it's raining, no sound. When the sun is up, the interior is cool. What roof are you using?
They use Ico roofing shingles from Interface Limited. Long lasting and beautiful.
Ico roofing shingles. We all for move to Interface and get this Ico roofing shingles.
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input materials for the building and construction industry in Ghana. Call us on 0274 999999 or visit our website at
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook Interface Limited GH. Instagram Interface.limited.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
The teacher teaches them all. Teachers mold our minds and shape our future. If you can read, thanks to a teacher. If you can write, thanks to a teacher. Teacher, you all I don't have. Teacher, teacher,
All right, so welcome back from the short break, and thank you very much for staying with us. I know there are many of you who want to have a bite when it comes to this conversation, and you can join us on Twitter using the hashtag JoySMS. Tell us, if you're a teacher, I would want to know whether you feel you are the heart of the education recovery in Ghana, and what do you make of your conditions of service? Are you okay with it? Do you have a problem with it? What are those challenges? Share them with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM.
And also, Winston, most importantly, how do we resolve those challenges?
Exactly. And you can also join us with your text messages. Text messages on the Soul Morning Show brought to us by Glyco Critical Illness Plan GSIP. It's in your best interest to survive. And Fabri Metal, your partner in steel.
And Fab 500 steel rods are manufactured locally by Fabri Metal Ghana Limited using international quality standards. As winners of the 2021 Steel Manufacturing Company of the Year and Excellence in Corporate Social Responsibility, we pride ourselves as the industry leader in steel, providing the local market with import substitute at affordable prices. So why don't you call Fabri Metal? This is how to reach them. 055 269 8192 or 0249 896103 and locate them at Chopoli on the Tema Aflower Road. Fabri Metal, your partner in steel.
And Surfline is expanding its coverage. Now, if you live around Waja, McCarthy Hills, Castle, Millennium City, Budumbram, Kukrubich and its environs, Surfline has opened a new shop inside West Hills Mall to help serve you better with simple, fast, and efficient customer care that saves you time. Surfline is the best way to stay in touch. Don't get left behind. We're right here at the West Hills Mall, open daily from 10 a.m. Surfline, better together. Great. So let's continue the conversation. Esther is still here with us, and Sabina Mensabafo. They're both teachers, and also Kwame Olovi is also on the phone line, having this conversation. So let's get into, you've talked about salaries. How about teaching and learning materials? Do you have the textbooks that you need to, do these students have textbooks that they need? And how is it going with teaching and learning when it comes to those of you at the junior high schools?
Mr. Amwa, I would say that with the teaching and learning, to be sincere, I take the aspects of social studies and RME. I don't have a single textbook for social and RME in my school. So I went...
Which school is this?
Kotobabi 5 JHS.
You don't have a single RME and social studies textbook?
Yes. So as it stands now, I went to a bookshop and then bought Flamingo for social, and then in scope, RME in scope for the RME subject.
So you don't even have it as a teacher?
No.
You have to get your own.
You have to get your
By
own.
yourself.
And then other research too that I do online, then I print it out to teach. I don't have a single textbook in my school.
Is that money refunded?
No, you use your own money.
Who recommended the book that you bought?
Well, actually, we all know that Akiola and then in Scope as well as Flamingo, they've been there since ages. And they are one of the best books that we all know. And when you are going to buy them, normally, I think they take them to the curriculum division for them to go to.
So those are recommended textbooks?
Yes.
But you had to go and buy yourself?
Yes, I did.
Is this to say that in the school, the pupils don't have access to
They also have it. They also have the same textbooks. Because after I bought mine, I also told them...
these books that you recommended they should buy.
Exactly. And I think some also even bought the RME textbook itself.
So is there a library in the school?
There is no library. There is no library. We don't even have computer in my school. Meanwhile, we do ICT.
So as a teacher, do you have a computer? Do you have a laptop?
Well, I have my personal laptop.
So ICT, what do you teach? How do you teach them?
Well, the teacher is supposed to get a projector. But because we don't have a projector in the school, it will just go about 4 or 5 people, and then you will just teach them. They will go back, then the next set will come, which is very bad.
So you're using your personal computer and you're calling them in groups.
Yes.
To come for private lessons.
That is the thing.
Now, these are schools in Accra.
I tell you, so you can just imagine, because 5 JHS, you can just imagine the rural areas.
And you don't have computers.
We don't have computers. We don't have in my school. I don't know about Sabina, whether you have a computer in your, but in my school, we don't have a single computer in our school.
Well, for my school, I know the ICT teacher uses her personal laptop as well. And, well, I teach English.
Do you have the textbooks too?
There is no textbooks. So what we do is that now we are not supposed to sell or do whatever. So we recommend a book for parents to buy for their wards. With comprehension, we need a book for them to read. And as at now, it is Golden English I recommended. But even some of them, the money to even buy the book. So I teach a class of, I teach Form 1, 2, and 3. And the list is 85 in one class. And so they have to, some would have to be standing and, two decks put together for them to, if one person is fortunate and the mom buys it, then you get about 5, 10 people sitting to watch.
5, 10?
I'm telling you.
Sharing one
I'm telling
textbook?
you, one textbook. Most often, I have videos of my teaching. When we are done, I'll try and see whether I can get some from my Facebook.
Well, let's look at solution. I mean, you're living with this. Obviously, you've told the authorities
Yes.
that these are the challenges that you're going through.
Yeah.
So what has been the response?
Well, what happens is that our heads report to the directors, and then the directors also report to the headquarters. But, nothing is forthcoming. So what do we do? I cannot also just sit and, watch the children struggle. So I have to recommend a book for them to buy so we can use for the comprehension passages.
Now, you're looking at the syllabus, the curriculum, the syllabus, and you're teaching these students. Do you feel that what you recommend actually meets what they're supposed to know?
Exactly. For me, I would say yes. The book I have recommended is
And that's
okay.
approved by GES and the National.
Well, for
NACA.
now, whether approved or unapproved, that is what we can have access to. If if government brings it, then we will use. But if there is none, I can't just go to class and go to the board and write comprehension passage on the board. English takes 75 minutes. So when am I going to write that comprehension on the board? Wait for them to copy before we start the reading. You know, when you come to the grounds, there are a lot of agitations going on. I wish some of you would disguise yourself and come. You know, teachers, because of victimization and things, sometimes they are afraid to talk. But if you tell them, we will cover your face, if it is TV, they will tell you a lot. There are a lot of agitations. When we go about saying it's as if, we are doing, no, for me, I'm not doing anything politics, but I am only, saying what is happening.
These, and ICT, for instance, is a practical subject. So when I was in secondary school in the late 90s, we had a computer lab, and it was arranged such that classes would take turns to go there, and I think we had 40 desktops. Okay. So 40 would go at a time. And we're catered for, at least everybody could go in there. This is 2021.
Were you in a public school?
Oh, that was in secondary school.
Secondary, all right.
But I went to a public school. The description that you're giving, mine wasn't like that.
Yeah, okay, yes.
But it's a public school,
now,
so
these days, things have changed.
How do those teachers teach them?
Well, just like the way we said earlier on, you call them in badges. And then, because there is no projector, even if, let's say, we should have only one projector, the whole class can even sit down and then use that one to teach them. But there is nothing of that sort, unless the teacher's personal computer. So you call them in badges and then you train them. That is all that you can do.
Interesting. Now, let me find out from you two. Now, these things you're sharing with us, are they new, or it's been with us? Is this because of COVID-19? Because we know COVID-19 has affected a lot of issues in Ghana. Is it because of COVID, or it's been something you've been dealing with even before COVID?
To me, it's been something that I've been dealing with before COVID. Because I think I was transferred to my new school, that's Kotobabi 5 JHS, in 2018. When I went there was no textbooks. So I have to go and buy my own in scope, as well as the flamingo that I'm using to teach the children. And I think at a point in time, you asked a question that, is it, are the books good, or do they meet the criteria? Yes, because that's all that we have that we can use. If government should provide textbooks, at least we will fall on that one and also use that one as well.
So during COVID, and I know, Winston, we're still in COVID times. People are limiting contact hours. what were you using back in 2020 and what are you still using? Or you're doing all physical classes?
All physical classes, the same thing that we are using, the same textbooks that we are still managing and then using.
Is this a reduced class size?
No. My own is still the same class.
How many pupils in your class?
I think Form 2 will be about, is it 50? And then Form 1 is about 48, thereabout.
Okay.
And then I think the Form 3, they are about 69. And I think the Form 3 class is 2 classes, so that one is a little bit spacious. And then that one we observe the COVID protocols as well. Even in all the classes, they do use the nose masks and then everything.
So when private schools were doing the online classes, what were you doing?
Oh, my dear, where will you get that online for a public school? I mean, there was nothing like that. I think we were told some few teachers were called primary that they try and visit homes of pupils to teach. So some were doing that. But you see, it is not easy. Things are deteriorating. Government must come to teachers, to the doorstep of teachers, and listen to us.
When you say things are deteriorating, I want to really appreciate that because teachers have always complained.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is different? How are things deteriorating?
Just like I mentioned for our promotion, it's used not, we were not suffering, going through stress like this. When the results come and you have passed, you've passed. If you have failed, you have failed, and so you know. But look at this emotional trauma we are going through. And, because of the free education too, now the enrollment has really increased. My Form 1 class is 93 in one classroom. The Form 2 is around 89, and Form 3 too. I think Form 3 is also 89.
Are you talking about A and B combined?
No, we are in one class. It's not A and B. We have nothing like A and B. It's one class combined. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. That's the enrollment in one classroom, not A and a B. So teachers are doing very well.
Because
we are doing great.
Even looking at the large number of pupils in the classroom, when you are teaching, you are supposed to shout. Sometimes you'll be teaching and then other people, because of class, there will even be lack of class control.
So can I ask, how do you wish that we would celebrate you today?
Today,
what is there to celebrate?
Maybe.
While you think about that, let me get to Kwame Alofi briefly, because Kwame Alofi, you've been writing, while we talk about all of these also, I know you've been writing about fraud in Ghana's WASI. And you've talked about how some teachers have become conduit for these persons who are cheating on the system. If you look at what has become of our educational system, are you surprised that we're faced with this fraud during exams? Hello, Kwame. Well, I think we've lost Kwame Alofi. Yeah, Kwame. Hello, Kwame Alofi. Okay, we'll try and get back to Kwame Alofi shortly. Tell us more about how he thinks this has affected the fraud that he talks about during the WASI. But it's your day. How would you want to be celebrated? Yes, that's the question. Very valid one. Sabina.
Yes, today is our day. And I think everyone out there can just pick a phone today and call one teacher who brought a difference in his or her life. If you try recollecting, you can identify one teacher who helped you in your school. And one thing you can do is to just pick your phone now, try to get your teacher's number, call the teacher to say thank you. It has never happened that a student is rich now and has bought a car for the teacher. It has never happened. I have never seen that.
You want to see something like that?
Yes.
We would have been so happy. You know, I have always put smiles in a lot of students. What I do is that the students that most teachers do not want to get closer to, those who are blockheaded, I bring them closer to me. And what brings joy to me is when they call me and tell me, Madam Sabina, thank you. Madam Sabina, I'm here, I'm there. That brings joy to me. That is the only thing that puts smiles on our faces. But today, if the government or the president, His Excellency and the Vice, if they are listening to us,
They are listening.
one thing that will make us so happy today is for them to tell us that promotion results or that promotion we deprived you, we have listened to you and have decided we will give to all those who were given that verification notice.
Okay. Let me get to Kwame Alovi. And Kwame Alovi, I mean, listening to Sabina and Esther talk about the challenges within our education system, right from the junior high school, is it then surprising that at the senior high school and in the WASI exams, many students, together with their teachers and the school management system, assistant headmasters, have resorted to cheating?
Thank you, Vincent. Before I come to that, permit me to make a few comments on the lack of textbooks in the basic course. You know, the curriculum includes syllabus, which is now called the curriculum, textbooks, teachers' guides, and other reference books for the teachers and students. Now, the textbooks are the reference materials for teachers and pupils. Now, they contain contents of the subject matter they are supposed to teach and learn. And they also have questions which are meant to draw the pupils' attention to important details. Now, let's understand that no teacher, regardless of his qualification, is a walking encyclopedia. So that without any textbook for him to refer to teach, means that he's going to a classroom unprepared. You see, there are many concepts that academic community don't have a consensus on. Let's, for instance, the lack of textbook means that we could have multiple definitions for a concept, while the examination body may require a certain one. So will it be the fault of the student for not getting the standard by the examination body? So we need the textbook 2 years after a new curriculum without textbook is very frustrating. Now back to the question over there. You see, these students, now assuming that we don't have this textbook for students to learn and teachers to teach, then they continue to the SS level, unprepared for the SS course. So when you enter the classroom to teach, teachers have to revert to the GSS level to pick items that they should have known. And that takes a lot of time to bring them up to the standard at the SS level. And that frustrates the teachers. That delays the teaching process. And with this double track, go home for 3 months, come for 2 months too, then there's a deficit on the part of the students. That is why, apart from that, there are other political tone to it. Teachers are now, or students are now depending on support to pass the examination. Because they come unprepared. By the time they reach SS3, teachers have not covered whatever they are supposed to cover because of the academic calendar and the deficits that the students bring from the GSS level. So it's not surprising. And now that the exams are now being commercialized, it's not only a matter of letting students learn or pass the examination. Teachers are now commercializing the senior high school certificate examination so that they collect money. Headmasters collect money from parents and allow the students to be taught. Teachers collect money, subject teachers collect the money from the students that they teach because they must also make ends meet. So that's the difficulty that we have now.
How do we solve
Whatever
this?
happens at the GSS level, the differences that we notice at the GSS level will reflect eventually at the SS level.
How do we solve this? Briefly.
Yes, definitely. As I said in my article, you need to prepare the academic environment suitable for teaching and learning. At the GSS level, let the structures be in place. Let the textbooks come for teachers and the students. Let the head teachers of the business school receive their grants to run the schools. So that when the teacher needs a TLM material for to teach, he does not have to spend his or her salary to go and buy those materials to teach. The school must provide and keep as reference point for them to use for their teaching. Now, if I'm not even having enough salary and I'm supposed to take part of that meager salary to go and buy a teaching and learning material to go and teach, I will not do so, as the lady is saying. So the government must prepare the environment academically suitable for teaching and learning. And the large class sizes, the GSO says that the teacher ratio, the teacher-pupil ratio should be, I say,
Yeah, it's 45. What you
Unfortunately,
wanted,
we lost
the
Kwame
teacher
Alofi
ratio
again.
should be 45.
Yes, 1 is to 45.
1
yes.
is to 45. Yeah.
Okay. We lost Kwame Alofi there. But when we return after these messages, we're going to be finding out from you also what you make of this whole conversation and how you believe we can solve it. That would be after these few messages. Let me also say that we reached out to the Ghana Education Service. I personally spoke to them, and they told me that, well, they actually are going to Sunyani, and that's why they're unable to join this conversation. And so that's just by way of information. Kwame Alofi, yes, you're making a point, and then the line dropped.
Yes, sorry for that. I'm saying that, so if the hardware deficiencies we have at the GSS level will reflect at the SS level, and for that matter, the students go there unprepared. Some of them don't get oriented even after a whole year. They get lost in the process. Teachers find difficulty in teaching. And the large class sizes at the basic school level should also be addressed. We're supposed to have, say, one teacher to a maximum of 30 students in class now. But the lady is talking about 80, 90, 1,000. How can you have class control? It's not possible. It's not possible to have attention for the student, because to give them that individual attention, inspect, even if you give one class assignment, how long does it take you to mark and repair? Come back to class and discuss with the students. And all this are not being tackled. So there will be frustration. The teacher gets frustrated. Students will not get the full benefits of the teaching. And they go half-baked to the SS level. And when they are there, the deficiency will reflect. And they will like to have other means of passing the examination. That's why we are seeing the fraud on the ongoing, in the ongoing WASE.
Well,
where
as we celebrate
teachers themselves, because they are sure that the students have not covered so much, they want them to cheat for them to pass. Because if they fail, the headmaster takes the blame. The teacher takes the blame that you have not taught your students. So everybody is now in a hurry to ensure that at the end of the year, he has a place so that the children have passed before. But my concern is also not only the cheating, but also the commercialization of the examination now. Where headmasters and teachers are collecting money.
Finally, Kwame, as we celebrate World Teachers Day, how would you want to be celebrated?
Well, if we want to be celebrated, as I said, let's better the conditions of teachers in the environment that they are teaching. Make it better for them to be able to perform well. Apart from the environment, give them the materials that they need to be able to teach. Then also, thirdly, whatever they deserve, their promotions, their salaries, remunerations, allowances, everything needs to be taken into consideration on board, so that we can feel that when we celebrated, the celebration is not one teacher or few teachers being awarded with cars and so forth. But the teaching environment during the whole country must be such that teachers will feel encouraged to be in the classroom to educate future leaders.
Great. It will be your turn after these messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello?
What would you do if you have the choice to do anything in life? Build your dream house, take very good care of your family, and plan for a comfortable retirement. Plan a befitting funeral for your loved ones when they depart. How would you live if you knew there was a friend waiting to support you on all of your life's choices?
You have such a friend in Glyco Life Insurance. Glyco Life has all the plans to meet your life's needs. Your child's education, your life savings, your mortgage, funerals too. Also visit our website at www.glycolife.com or any of our branches nationwide for more information.
Glyco Life, we cushion you for life.
Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Putting up or replacing a roof is not just laying the panels, it's a complete engineered system. And at Roofings and Steel Ghana Limited, we understand how the whole system works and are resolved to give you the very best quality in roofing and steel products. Manufactured locally in Ghana, we offer a range of steel and galvanized pipes, mild steel plates, and all ranges of roofing sheets, IBR and IDT, corrugated and galvanized. Our locally manufactured products are tropicalized to withstand local conditions. Distributors, wholesalers, contractors, builders, welders, and fabricators. It's time to get the best quality roofing and steel products made in Ghana. Visit our office at Chopoli on the Tema Aflawo Road. Call us on 0559 722 035 or 0552 571 173 or 0242 539 411. Roofings and Steel Ghana Limited, your strength in steel.
Wow, wow, wow. Hope you have heard, rent to own now in Ghana. The Flan City Extension Project Rent to Own Land and House Ownership Scheme by the Ningo Prampram District Assembly and its partners, supported by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and the UN Habitat, are right here in Ghana. So be smart, because where you trade and live really matters. Apply now and own a home or a fully serviced land. Wait a minute, don't forget to join our affiliate housing cooperatives also. Special offers last up to October 31st, 2021. Call us on 055 55 3300 or 0577 911101 and 055 7054 635. Website newaccra.city. Plant City Extension Project, shaping Ghana's urban future.
It's the 12th edition of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair powered by the Planned City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats. The third mini clinic comes off at the Junction Mall on Saturday 2nd and Sunday 3rd October from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. Join us as we help you resolve the to build or buy dilemma. But if distance is a barrier, you can join virtually from wherever you are or follow us on our social media platforms with the hashtag Joy Habitat Fair. For inquiries, call us on 054 690 8179 or 054-011-0389. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is powered by the Planned City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, the Planned City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats, Rent to Own, and sponsored by Elegant Homes and General Construction, where quality meets value. Duraplast, manufacturers of high-quality UPVC and HDPE pipes, fittings, and rotational molded rod. Where Duraplast goes, water flows. DBS Industries Limited, we truly are your roof expert. And Renters Paradise, we help people and properties find each other.
Morning Show. Right, so welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show. We're activating the phone lines shortly. In fact, we have activated the phone lines for you to join us, and we're asking you what you make of all that you've heard, and how do you think we can solve the challenges that the teachers have spoken of. Of course, we tried, inviting the Ghana Education Service. We invited them, we called them, but they told us they'll be in Sunyani for the celebration of World Teachers Day and also the Teachers Awards today, and that's why they haven't joined us. But let me tell you about Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one supplier of quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture at affordable prices, and they've introduced an online store for your shopping convenience. So this means that you can now shop by simply logging on to kingdomstoreonline.com without physically coming to any of our branches. It's hassle-free and will arrange delivery to your homes and offices within a reasonable time. We offer free delivery within Accra and Tema and accept payment via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions apply at Kingdom. Quality and affordability is our hallmark.
And it's the 12th edition of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, powered by the Plant City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats. The fair is under the theme Home Ownership, to Build or to Buy. Join us as we resolve your to build or to buy dilemma. Will happen at the Accra International Conference Center from Wednesday 27th to Sunday 31st of October from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. There will be lots of activities and giveaways at the fair, so don't be left out of this. Follow Conversations on the Habitat Fair with the hashtag Joy Habitat Fair. For inquiries, you can also give us a call 054 690 8179 or 054 011 0389. It's brought to you in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, powered by Plan City Extension Project from Cities and Habitats, rent to own, and sponsored by Elegant Homes and General Construction, where quality meets value. DBS Industries Limited, we truly are your roof experts. Duraplast, where Duraplast goes, water flows. Renters Paradise, we help people and properties find each other. Gold Key Properties, building prestige since 1997. Anki's Home Decor, your home sorted. EcoBank Journeys Habitat Fair, everything housing.
Let's get on to the phone lines now. 0302 216 541 055 1111 997. Nicholas from New Ningo, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Nicholas.
Please,
Go ahead in
me?
30 seconds.
Yes. What my colleagues, ladies in the studio have said, they've said the truth, nothing but the truth. To be frank, I also go through the same thing. I teach class 6. There are no books. I come to school Monday morning, copy passage on board before 6. At times I get to school just after 6 to do that, so that they'll be able to read. If I don't do it that way, then we will not do any comprehension. We need textbooks and other things, especially the ICT side too.
Okay.
It is very bad.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Julius from Accra, good morning.
Yeah, Miss Tonya. How is it?
I'm fine, Julius. How about you?
Yeah, that is great. Thank God.
Great. Go ahead.
Now, I'm also a teacher. And you see, let's just go back to past events and let's pick the themes or captions that characterize these celebrations, being it local or national or international. You will notice that all these things evolve around the teacher. It is the teacher who is at the center, like a fulcrum or like a pivot, to propel all these activities.
Thank you.
But when it comes to returns, the teacher is jettisoned or relegated to the background, and you see peanuts being given to the teacher. Yet, we expect that a teacher will give out his or her best. So it's like remuneration does not commensurate with work output. Yet we expect the best from teachers. You were talking of passion earlier. Winston, yes. Why don't we have the passion? But you see, this is our job. This is what we live on. This is what our dependents live on. Okay. So we need to earn respectable sums.
Thank you very much, Julius. So that we can let's just so we can pick other callers. We make it very brief. Anaya from Kofodia, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Winston. How are you?
I'm fine, Anaya. How about you?
Yes, I think the ladies at the studio have made it clear. The system is deteriorating. The system is deteriorating, as the ladies have said. If GES management does not sit up, they will collapse education for the entire country. Things are bad at the primary level. Things are bad at the GHS level, let me put it that way, and even at the SHS level. It is not palatable at all. And like one of them said, they don't have their case in the Ghana Education Service or schools. It is bad. It is bad. And Nanado Dankwa should set up, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nanaya. Stephen from Somania, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, Stephen.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you in 30 seconds. So
yeah, okay, I'm a teacher myself. And I think when it comes to the problem of teaching and learning resources or materials, I think the part of the government is to make parents responsible. But here, the government has decided to take some debts that parents could have bear on his shoulders. So you tell children to go and bring textbooks, they go home and come back to tell you that my mother said Akufo-Addo will provide. My mother said it is free. Akufo-Addo says it's free education. So I think it's about time the government levied the parents with some simple debts that they can take care of. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And from Stephen in Somania, we go to Stephen in Accra. Stephen in Accra, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is just quick.
Yeah.
I just want to just ask the Education Ministry whether us as teachers should all change the marking scheme And then any student or people who get anything less than 60%, we fail him. Probably that's what they want us to do. So that we fail anybody who gets anything less than 60%. Because that's the mark that they want to give us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jacob from Kaswa, good morning.
Modernization Africa. Great. I've been so much dissolved by the presentation by the two ladies there. My point is, GES is not ready to change. I went for my interview for the AD2. I was told I'm 200 miles ahead of GES, so I should take the lead. That's why I left. And I'm now applying the knowledge I have in science and public health in modernization. Every teacher must go to the next and look for teaching job outside the country, Singapore and the rest, and get their opportunity, must leave and go. Because the system is sick. The GES system is sick. And teachers are going through a lot of pressure, and teachers are dying. Your salaries are not coming. I suffered it. My salaries for 5 years, I was in Aquinas here. Even promotion, when they promote you, the rest will not come. I suffered it, and I left.
Okay.
So teachers, the way is on the next. Go and apply for jobs and leave.
Thank you very much, Jacob from Kaswa. The teachers have a very important role to play in our country. Kwame from Ablekuma, good morning.
Yes. Teachers' issue is that of a pathetic thing. You know, there is so much victimization from the Ghana Education Service. Right, recently, there was this headmaster in one of the Ashanti schools who was trying to check examination practice. That is a year ago. But he was victimized by no person than the Director General of Ghana Education Service. I'm sorry, none of them is there. You see, he sat home for almost a year, and then when he was being posted, he was sent to the remotest part of the country. And this man is a person who is not even very well and has to be closer to a facility where he could be treated. So that is the issue of the teachers. It's a very pathetic issue.
All right. Thank you very much, Kwame from Ablekuma. You'll be our final caller. We can't pick any more of your calls. Esther and Sabina, quick questions to you. If you had a chance to meet the president, what would be that one thing you would want him to do for you in 30 seconds?
Well, I will tell him that he should just promote us, just to bring the smiles back on the faces of teachers. We are suffering. We are getting tired. At least as a teacher, you need to create a conducive atmosphere so that teaching and learning can really take place. Okay. I keep on saying, for every nation or country to develop, it depends on a teacher.
Sabina, what would that one thing be?
Yes, if I have the opportunity of meeting the president today, there's one thing I will tell him, and this is it. Mr. President, thank you for all you have done for the nation. Today, I sit here as a teacher, and I'm pleading with you. Put a smile on our faces. One thing you can do to put a smile in our faces is to grant us that promotion we were denied. We deserve to be promoted. We deserve to be given our rank. Some teachers are going on retirement this year. What happens to them? What happens to them, Mr. President? A teacher made you a president. A teacher made you become a vice president. A teacher made you become a doctor. A teacher made you become a lawyer. Whoever is listening, it is a teacher that has made you what you are and whom you are at this point.
Okay. Well, we have to end it here, but we thank you for coming and speaking to us. Sabina and Esther, we wish you well. We celebrate you today. I also celebrate my good friend Esme Boateng of Ghana National College. To all the teachers out there listening, well, thank you for what you do. You are the center of everything that a nation does, really.
And that'll be all from us. My name is Winston Amu. I've been here with
Mama Vioso Abuaji. We'll see you tomorrow, God willing.
Sure.
Dance make up baby dino I don't me better than them. Amanya me uninya da ki ya come to some. As is, see, what you